Hi, my name's Krista Gear, and I'm the Executive Director for Active Aging. There's a lot I have to tell you about Active Aging, who we are, and what we do, and I will. But first I want to tell you why Active Aging is asking for your donation today. Medical supplies, such as Depends and nutritional drinks or shakes, are expensive. Too expensive for many older adults in our community to afford on their own. Medical assistance will provide these items for those who qualify, but for the person on a fixed income who makes just a little too much to receive medical assistance, they have to find the money to pay for these things on their own. And how does someone on a fixed income find money? They cut corners somewhere else. Maybe they cut out a meal, or they take a little less of a prescribed medication. Imagine having to decide between eating or protecting yourself against the potential embarrassment of incontinence. That's a real decision made by many older adults every day. That's a decision no one should have to make. We don't want to see that happen, so Active Aging has started a program that offers supplemental medical supplies and nutritional drinks to help offset those costs and hopefully increase the quality of life for those who rely on these items. Your support today goes directly to the purchase of incontinence supplies and nutritional drinks for older adults in Crawford County who are struggling to afford them on their own. A case of Boost can cost anywhere between $30 and $40. A package of Depends are on average $1 each. If you need 2 or 3 nutritional shakes a day and 4 or 5 Depends over the course of a day, you can see how quickly the cost can add up and eat away at a fixed monthly income. That's why your support of this program is so vitally important. Now a little bit more about who we are. Active Aging is the Area Agency on Aging for Crawford County. We're set to celebrate our 50th anniversary next year. Initially established as a county-based office for aging, the nonprofit Active Aging was established in 1988. As the local Area Agency on Aging, we received block grant funding through the lottery program to provide various services to older adults in our county who are over the age of 60. We also received some federal funding through the Older Americans Act. Our block grant funding is set based on a formula that was created in the early 80s, and the overall allotment of that has only increased slightly since then. Our federal funding has recently been reduced. As the number of older adults in our community increases, so does the need for the services provided by Active Aging. Active Aging services are home and community-based. This means the goal behind our services is to allow older adults to remain in their homes as active members of their community for as long as possible. When someone calls our office looking for help, they don't usually know what it is they need. They just know what their problem is and that they need help. Our highly skilled and dedicated care managers take the time to listen to the problem so they can offer the best solution possible. They'll come to your home to discuss and assess your needs and then work with you to coordinate your services. Some of these services include someone to help you bathe and dress, a personal emergency response button to provide a lifeline in times of emergency, home-delivered meals, and care management. The community-focused services are provided in coordination with our Active Aging centers. Our centers in Meadville, Cambridge Springs, and Linesville operate 5 days a week. Another center meets at Canadota Lake once a week, and we contract with the Titusville Senior Center, which operates 5 days a week. If we learned anything from the recent COVID-19 pandemic, it's the detrimental effects of social isolation. Many older adults experience that every day. Our centers provide an opportunity for socialization as well as education, exercise, various activities, and a lunchtime meal. You may think that an Active Aging center is just another senior center, but that isn't at all true. Older adults who attend our centers can actively age at whatever level they choose. We go biking, hiking, and kayaking, take interesting trips, and offer a host of learning opportunities. Sure, we have bingo and card games if that's more your style, but the point is the experience is whatever you choose to make it. Additional services include Medicare counseling for those who need help determining what Medicare plan is best for them, Our staff also help with LIHEAP, PACE, and property tax rent rebate forms. We have specially trained staff who take and investigate reports of abuse, neglect, and exploitation against older adults, and an ombudsman who advocates for older adults who live in long-term care facilities. I could talk all day and still not cover all the services we provide. If you or a loved one over the age of 60 needs some assistance, give us a call. Even if we can't help, we can connect you to another resource that can. As you can see, we utilize the funding we receive to do our best to provide services needed in our community. However, as the need has increased, the cost of services have increased, and the number of older adults have increased, our state funding has gotten a slight bump, but as I mentioned, our federal funding was cut. The state changed the formula used to determine the allocation of the dollars received from the federal government under the Older Americans Act. The highest weighing measures were the number of individuals over 60 considered to be in poverty and the number who are considered minorities. Our population of older adults over 60 is 28%, and the rate of poverty for those older adults is 8%. What these statistics don't tell us is how many of our older adults are only slightly above the poverty level, but certainly don't have the means to obtain what they need. For a single older adult living alone, $13,600 annually, technically, is above the poverty level, but it certainly isn't enough to live on. That same older adult can make $18,075 annually to qualify for medical assistance. Medical assistance will provide medical supplies, but if that older adult living alone makes $18,076 annually, they won't qualify for medical assistance and will have to purchase medical supplies on their own. This can become very costly very quickly. As I mentioned earlier, the cost could easily be $6 to $10 a day, which equates to around $200 or $300 a month. Imagine being on a fixed income, barely able to keep up with the rising costs of everything, and then having to face an additional $200 or $300 bill. It's overwhelming, leading many older adults to forego obtaining the supplies they need. Not using or having access to the appropriate incontinence supplies can lead to skin breakdown and sores, isolation, and embarrassment. That's why Active Aging started providing medical supplies to those in need many years ago. Unfortunately, the cut to our federal funding required us to cut the medical supply program, but our foundation stepped in. The Active Aging Foundation was created in 1995 to raise funds to offset the gaps in funding that our leadership anticipated as our older adult population expanded. The foundation has raised funding for the building and renovation of our Meadville location, the building of our Active Aging Center in Linesville, and various program-related supports over the years. And while our current focus is on the need for medical supplies, we also collect donations for our pet food program and provide programming scholarships. All of this is funded through the financial contributions such as these and our fundraising events such as weekly bingo, our golf outing, and our reverse raffle. Our foundation has ensured that the medical supply program remains in place and continues to offer the assistance that so many of our friends and neighbors need and can't afford.
Hi, I'm here to talk about Depends or pads that older people wear. My mother and a few people I know use them, and they come to Active Aging to get them. They're very helpful here for anything you would need like that. All you have to do is call them, make an appointment, come down and pick them up. They will supply you with them. You can get a whole month's supply for free. They're very helpful in that way. You can get those supplies that would save you money and your Social Security. You could use that towards your food and your medicine instead of buying these, because they can get quite costly. I believe at Walmart they run around $28 for just one bundle of them. Some people use up to 4 or 5 a day, so it does get quite costly. So I suggest that you call or go to Active Aging and get some help with this. And there's many other programs there that you can use that are very helpful. And it's a good program, and I suggest that you would call them or even have someone drive you down or drive down yourself and check into this. It's a great place.
Thank you for your support and contribution today. We genuinely appreciate it. And I'm certain that everyone who receives medical supplies from us also will appreciate it.